The last day of April, on the 30th, Daft Spunky began a series that would split their channel from the usual funky SFM animations mainly focused around games such as Team Fortress 2 and Rainbow Six Siege to the nightmare-fueled saga called Don't Join Team Red. The analog horror-styled videos not only create an extremely disturbing visual of the comically viewed TF2, but it too builds a deep story that crafts together twists, spine-chilling realizations, and theories. If you're uncultured or live under a rock, Team Fortress 2 is the hero shooter that has kept a sturdy fan base for years and was a spiking lead for the hero shooter genre. The game has rooted itself from gameplay to meme material, all the way to an unbelievable amount of lore where we figure out Scout's dad is God or spy or something like that. It's a clusterfuck I'm really not paid to follow. And what shines brightest for this game is the world-renowned animation. On its path of animation were created some of the most nostalgic and staple pieces of online media. Albeit in more recent times, the creativity has taken a steep turn down the rabbit hole of analog horror, where masterpieces such as Emis's Blue came across. We're approached with Daft Spunky's take on analog horror to be researched, distracting us from the abhorrent lack of updates. You know it's bad when people were happier than they would be about their firstborn when low-poly water snakes were added to the game. Valve really was feeling generous 4 years ago. Digressing back to Don't Join Team Red. I'll be covering every part uploaded to the current date of this video's creation and attempting to make a plausible story including what potentially happened before, theorizing on what could follow, and answering any questions that pop up midway. With that in mind, let's start off at the very first SFM horror, Don't Join Team Red. By the way, Soldier is also dating Heavy's sister. In this comic, she seems hyped about being impregnated. I imagine Heavy's expression is due to him not being in her place. Fading from the dark, we're introduced to the main antagonist, Redmond Man, the CEO of Team Red, whose face isn't shown. He offers us, or whoever's viewing the video, a job to kill his brother Blue Torch Man, who acts as a counterpart of Redmond's, also being the CEO of Team Blue. In the frame, to his right is possible cannon fodder and an unknown individual to his left, whose eyes are censored in a black line of paint which usually points towards anonymity. Redmond offers us money for the job, what seems to be a lot, but I can tell you its value amounts to 2 terrifying trove collections. Without the keys, to be clear, because God forbid Valve letting you get the Triboniophorus Gentleman is— what the fuck? Cutting to an advertisement state titled Reliable Excavation Demolition, prompting us to join Team Red and get rich. But not without letting us in on the secret that Redmond and Corin are responsible for any damage during services, including injury, loss of life, or mental disorders. 2 dots, by the way. Contract cannot be terminated and lasts until your services are deemed no longer necessary. Right before the segment ends, the text changes from get rich to get dead, as the static-like transition interrupts the ad with a new warning-like entry. Do not sign this contract. His promises are very tempting, but you'll lose everything in return. You don't know me yet. Here's our picture, together, all of us. The Team Fortress 2 roster then shines bright in a friend group-like moment, displaying whoever is relaying the message is in the picture themselves. See yourself in your new shiny gear? You'll be stuck with it for eternity, fighting in an endless war, enduring the mental toll of cloning. It's already scary enough that Soldier is showing his eyes. Those being filled with fear makes this that much more worse. And the constant cycle of dying and respawning.
You were good, son, real good.
Some of us had trouble coping with it. An extremely eerie showcase of how this entire project broke down the sanity of many participating, even those who we imagined to have iron wills. A very sudden frame pops up. Slowing the video down, we zoom in on the broken expression of Soldier, his eyes wide open, accompanied by an uncanny-like smile. While next to his face, a towering amount of text repeats, reading out, "End me," as if Soldier's soul screaming out in pain.
End me. End me. End me. End me. End me. End me. End me.
Dr. Ludwig tried to help as much as he could. He lost himself in the process. If he gouged his eyes out himself or that being a side effect is unknown, yet that expression worries me most. The one key thing here being that Ludwig looks to be locked inside a mineshaft. Another thing to add is the current area being Dust Bowl, found out through previous screenshots. It took me 20 years to build a machine to broadcast this message back in time. This could be a confirmation that the individual contacting us from the future is Engineer, assumingly him also being the only one capable of such machinery. I know for a fact that Sniper did not create a time machine due to the family-sized amount of Geratis he filled, and most of you went mad beyond salvation. The promises of new clothes and weapons is all you look forward to.
Well, off to visit your mother.
I don't know if I can escape this hell, but you definitely can avoid it. So for the love of God, don't sign Redmond's contract. For a short moment, we're visited by the haunting face of Dr. Ludwig and the staticky transition which will appear many times. As if only now finishing the invitation of Redmond's, the video ends. An attempt to access the past and prevent anyone from accepting Redmond's deal in order to stop the never-ending cycle of respawning is made by NG, assumingly. Now, if it's for the reason of saving themselves or the world, I'm not quite sure just yet. What we are sure of is that the effects of this contract have cost these mercenaries everything, even their souls it seems, making Redmond look like the devil himself. Video 2. Clones. We're met up with the same red suit as in the first video, his message now turned towards the blue team, promising double the reward of what Blue Torch offers for their services. Another slideshow takes place, its title being Builders League United, Chapter Propaganda, Part 12. This time serving more as a lesson on loyalty, teaching us that enemies will always look to destroy loyalty and that staying loyal to Blue Torch Man will always be rewarded. But of course, never forget their favorite slogan. The place we're shown alongside the slogan offers a skull, the unforgettable eyes of a deprived soldier, and Redmond wearing the devil's mask. This scene seems to be inspired by The Dawn is Your Enemy, a pencil sketch image shown on Adult Swim's TV channel between 2005 and 2010. Assumingly, it was broadcasted to scare children as a punishment for staying up too late or waking up too early to watch cartoons. This sketch even has its own creepypasta, so if anyone is interested in checking that out, the link is in the description. You didn't all listen to me. Was it doubt? Greed? Did my first message even reach everyone? Maybe my time machine isn't as accurate as I thought. ... Hopefully it doesn't broadcast to random folk. Watch what happened to it yesterday.
Out of my way! Out of my way! Go!
A scout is banging his head. Turning around reveals a shivering, faceless mistake in the cloning process. The scout brings up his backscatter in an attempt to kill NG, only to be served a meal of lead. You may have also noticed a quick frame pass, similar to the one from Soldier earlier. It's as if Scout's soul is thanking Engineer for ending his life.
Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for letting me rest. Thank you for giving me peace.
They first appeared after I transmitted the previous broadcast. Some watched us from the dark. Sniper didn't sleep the whole night. Glowing red eyes in the distance watching over the remnants of an army, moving in ways no creature should be able to once a flare is shot at them. Dr. Ludwig is back to normal. He's studying the situation.
You bleeding idiot!
But Tavish is swearing they're devils. He claims he can sense it. Tavish, on his best attempts to convince, seems to be getting laughed at by the same medic who is questionably still normal. Doc theorizes it could be a defect in the cloning process. Too much cloning in a short time overworks the machine. We'll avoid fighting for a few days to let it cool down. Then, we'll try to save Soldier and Scout. May God give them the patience they need and protect us. Then shown the duo motionless as another message from the inside comes around.
Give me peace. Give me mercy. Give me peace. Why do you keep me alive? Please, I'm in agony. My legs, please. Give me peace.
This is what you'll bring in yourself if you don't listen to me. I will contact you again with a plan to save what you can save. Now back to another ending, bringing about bad news. The only thing confirmed at it is Redmond's name switching characters to insinuate Tavish's claim of the devil being behind it. The one thing that does throw me off, now I'm not geeked at TF2, but Medic in the last episode was in all aspects his eyes gone, mentally drained, and just like that, he's back to normal. I don't know, man. Video 3. Infiltrator. I finally got in contact with Spy. Base communication has been rough since I started broadcasting to our old selves with the Traveler. Which, for context, the Traveler is the machine he's talking to us through. It's causing interference to some electronics and God knows what else. The others have been asking me what my machine is for, why I'm so protective of it. Dr. Ludwig is the most curious one, almost obsessively. Must have been the wind. I can't blame him. He's a man of science after all. I lied to them. I'm keeping its real use just to our old selves and I. Now, connected to a communications network, we can spot Engineer and Spy's conversation through it. Got intel. We'll share with you and Medic.
Spy. Base surrounded. Hostile clones. Careful. Godspeed.
A small thing to mention is that Team Red have repositioned from Dust Bowl onto Base George, spotted on the terminal. Those ghouls have gotten more aggressive. Their mangled bodies charge at us without hesitation, guns drawn and shooting wildly. We're forced to shoot back, despite our initial plan being to avoid bloodshed. The more clones we kill, the more they mutate. A few newer ones can even talk now. We can see Engineer and even Pyro shaking in front of the ghoulish clone. Even if it doesn't have any eyes, the gaze of it can still be felt. Sniper told me he's seen some ghouls shooting each other at night.
You've been shot.
How are we supposed to get Scout and Soldier back if they do that? The cloning machine will never cool down at this point. Are they getting themselves killed to mutate more? The thought of them being that smart terrifies me. They're sneaking through blind spots as well? I've programmed destroyer sentries that shoot everything in sight. Even us. God forbid. Spy should arrive soon. Tavish, on the other hand, seems excessively paranoid. He's suddenly refusing to get treatment from Doc.
Promise I will heal you. A devil!
Another thing to mention is every time Demoman says the word devil, his patch-covered socket flashes a green light like a lie detector. I had to patch him up myself. Spy should arrive by now. Wait, did Spy receive my warning about the destroyers in the hall? Only 5 mercenaries now remain, Spy's leaving message being included.
Why did you do this to me? Why did your machines shoot me? It's okay. I forgive you. I've seen all the things waiting outside in the dark, coming from the hills. You probably haven't met those ones yet. I preferred this end to them facing them. You did me a favor. Thank you. I wish I would never respawn.
Again, Engineer being the savior to his comrades being killed really does make us wonder what Spy meant by, you probably haven't met those ones yet. Oh my god, I made a mistake. You don't need to know, as I said, the intel. We checked the intel Spy brought us. I'm starting to believe Tavish.
I told y'all bleating idiots. These things are terrors. But no one listens to the drunk Cyclops. I've been telling ya, the Ludwig.
The ones present forcefully take out the clone who's been in front of them all along.
What in the world happened to Doc? Where is he?
The Engineer enters a state of grief, not knowing if Ludwig is even alive and blaming himself for Spy's death. Only 4 remain, with the recent event bringing down the group's trust. I will broadcast the information Spy provided to us. I hope it reaches you. Traveler is encountering lots of interference. With the outro's art including more detail and paint with our story, we reach another end to include in the puzzle. clones getting smarter, Spy's death, and Ludwig's betrayal really breaks the engineer, and I don't think he'll be able to fix himself like usually with a couple of swings. I mean, that does depend, of course, not by hammer, but a couple of swings of Tavish's bottle could potentially do the job depending on what's inside it. Oh yeah, wait, never mind, my bad. Forgot Tavish got capped. Video 4. Conquerors. We're now in Team Red's base, shown 3 teleporters inside the respawn room, which I assume to be cloning devices approached by the shadow of a corrupted clone coming across them. The cloning machine unit status is critical, having an interference with a high risk of defects, meaning the higher death count of the clones working its wonder. And for the first time within the series, we get a closer look of Plutarch Man conversing with the same individual whose eyes were censored in the first video, also being an assumed creator of some war machines used by Plutarch.
I'm conquering more of Redmond's territory. He'll be angry when he finds out.
You're wasting the potential of my beautiful war machines.
What are you talking about?
Those territories you're happy about? They were abandoned. Your troops couldn't find a single red. It's like they disappeared off Earth.
What? I mean, that was my plan. Yes, I strike where they least expect me to.
You're bringing million-dollar war engines where you don't expect the enemy to be. You lying, clueless fool. Send scouts to find rats. I need data for my investors. How will I evaluate my tech if you keep marching it to abandoned towns? You'll shoot ghosts.
I don't care. You're paid. My money, my rules. What matters is I'm finally winning against my brother.
Plutarch might be further from the truth than he realizes to burst his bubble, while we're informed by Future NG that Tavish is still with us. That all being thanks to his helmet saving him, just another way of stating Demo Goat went easy on the bullet. The ghouls in the meanwhile disabled the power generator to lure the mercenaries outside into battle. Heavy lifted our spirits, we're full of adrenaline. It drowns the fear a little. This wasn't just a mindless rush, it was a coordinated attack. They're using tactics now. Once the engineer fixed the generator, they instantly retreated. The last thing seen before safety being the creatures outside waiting, mangled in action and word both.
You've come outside. You think you're brave, don't you? Kill as many of us as you want. Your munitions will run out eventually. Your night hunters will need sleep eventually. Your machine will malfunction eventually.
Digressing to the intel gathered by Spy, it's a mix of drawings and classified receipts for cloning machines. It being behind their backs must mean whatever these receipts may be could potentially be the cause of this entire mess. Also, there's the drawing of the Viltrumite Man by Leonardo da Vinci about the dude I can't fully show because of his cock, I think. The drawing symbolizes the perfect man. If you're wondering why I'm bringing it up, it's for later. Not bringing up the cock though. I'm thinking Redmond is trying to clone a new generation of mercenaries. The strange drawings could be designs. Problem is that Moron is not qualified to operate the machines. He probably maximized all parameters thinking that more is better. This theory makes sense to me. This is why our friends turned into monsters. Tavish, of course, isn't convinced. Resetting the cloning machines is our top priority. I wish Dr. Ludwig were here. He knew the location of the original one. The topic continues on the following day about how the ghouls hide away in the morning and heavy suggestion to contact Team Blue about the situation.
Common enemy would bring little men together, yes?
A Team Blue plane was spotted flying above them, at which they shot a distress flare for help that did go ignored but not unnoticed.
Bootarch, it's urgent. I have excellent news. A scouting plane found an active right base. Look at this photo. I see like 100 of them. They're definitely plotting something.
So that's where they've been hiding all this time. Base Gorge, huh?
May even shoot at my poor plane. They're taunting you. Let's invade at once. It's your chance to deal a major blow to Redmond by killing all those men in a swift attack. And my chance to get data on my war engines. Win-win.
Fine.
Yes, I'll get the Conqueror ready.
What scratches my left nut most is that these two have no clue about the situation happening on Team Red. Blutarch and the General still think every clone is normal and like the mercenaries, without a single clue of the true horror that haunts Base Gorge and the leftover mercenaries. Assuming the Conqueror is the shown tank, an army is assembling, while deeper inside the base of operations, someone we thought was gone for good returns.
You said the distress signal came from Base Gorge?
Yeah, looks like they moved there without you. Y'all got in a fight or something?
No. I don't understand why they left me behind.
I mean, you were boarded up in the mine shaft, but it's strange how they didn't come looking. It must be getting pretty bad there if he's contacting his sworn enemies for help.
Dear God, protect them from those devils. They must be cornered.
Devils? Now bear with me, partner. You've been saying they're
I knew that cloning technology would be a mistake. A dead man should stay dead, not come back next day as if nothing happened. We're nothing more than flesh and artificial memories. A machine can't create a soul. Redmond was desperate to break the Gravel War stalemate and conquer these lands. He turned to dark arts seeking war-ending power, dooming his soul and sacrificing us like pawns. He got his wish, but he didn't get control over it. Now please, I need your medic. My eyes hurt.
Now, at the time of making, on Daft Spunky's channel, the latest post is a trailer for the 5th video, which like with the rest, we can do our best to examine. From NG's happiest moments, we transition to the 1000 Fort stare, with a photo bomber behind. As the clones look to become aggressive yet again, Team Blue seems to interrupt with their own attack. A new change in Pyro's attire doesn't bring as much attention as this shot of the spy coming across an event painted in a bright red light. The main focus in my eyes being these clones now having surpassed me in soldier mechanics. Closing out with the most important key point to keep in mind. A machine can't create a soul. Blutarch so easily gaining so much ground is quite questionable. Now either dead, seeking shelter, or experimenting to create the perfect man shown on the sketches brought by Spy, Redmond doesn't seem to have control of the clones anymore, as mentioned by Medic. Over time, the clones have gained a lot of growth. From moving corpses, they've begun launching calculated attacks, making noises, and even knowing how to rocket jump. It does look like the red and blue teams will hopefully work together to put them down. But will they win is what worries me. Since thinking about it, there could be hundreds if not thousands of these clones with stronger ones on their way, going by what Spy said. At the final conversation, it shows that the medic who attempted murder on Tavish wasn't the original Ludwig we know. From the very first video, Dr. Ludwig has been abandoned in the mineshaft, and once the mercenaries moved position, they left him behind. He was then rescued by Team Blue, to who the medic then explained the true situation that has been haunting them. One thing I do wonder though is if the real Ludwig is here, who was the medic that shot Tavish? That's what we'll get to in just a moment, as now it's time to craft a story and create some theories. Although, if there's anything I do know, is that a war is coming and it's a battle between the living and the dead. As in Team Fortress 2 lore, following Zephaniah Man's death, Blutarch and Redmond, his sons, began a war for property left by their father. The more time that passes by, the more impatient Redmond becomes and seeks to find a way to overpower Blutarch and finally win the war. He resorts to dark arts, getting in contact with Satan, who has been present in the TF2 lore before. Redmond asks the devil for but one thing: a way to destroy Blue Torch and finally take over all the land promised to the two. Satan in return demands enough souls to compensate for such power, and since Redmond isn't the brightest, he accepts a trick suggestion made by Satan. The devil will hand Redmond blueprints that will overwrite the cloning machine, forcing it to create faulty clones inhabited by devils. These clones don't think, only destroy. They don't feel pain but can learn and adapt. The perfect killing machines. In order to allow such entry, the human being inhabited must too sign a contract, as it's their soul being offered to the devil. Redmond agrees and creates his first advertisement, asking for help in taking out Blue Torch, while in return promising weaponry and huge loads of money. That's where we meet the Mercenaries, the most iconic hero shooter lineup, each one of them signing the contract and unknowingly offering their soul to the devil. The war continues like it always has, with one slight change. Redmond has acquired new blueprints which he doesn't mention to the mercenaries he'll use it on. Inputting the blueprints to test, the cloned mercenaries begin experiencing the change take effect. Depression, loss of sanity, and shattered hopes. A completely broken mind at the very beginning, causing clones to be thankful for their death, be it by any cause. The medic, Dr. Ludwig, attempted to give aid to as many as he could, but ended up losing his mind in the process of it, gouging his eyes out in a brutal sight. All of the remaining mercenaries who have kept their sanity end up moving from Dust Bowl to Bay's Gorge, being followed by the clones from every location, those locations now open for Team Blue to capture. Abandoning Dr. Ludwig, who locked himself up in the mineshaft, a corrupted medic clone sneaks into the crew, joining as one of them inside Bay's Gorge. Needing more intel on what they're dealing with, the spy is sent out to an unknown location where Redmond and the cloning machines remain. Around this time, our main character, the engineer, builds a time machine due to the consequences this war has caused to those around him, hoping to reach the past and stop it from happening in the first place. The cloning descends into a lack of facial features and talking, as from the videos, the only form of communication seems to be the souls of pre-cloned mercenaries hoping for an end to their suffering. They too begin acting out, killing anything they see, that being the leftover mercenaries and even themselves, showing a form of intelligence. Tavish, in a state of paranoia, constantly screams out at the fact that these are no mere clones but devils, as he can sense it. As they keep falling to the leftover mercenaries and take out each other, more of them are created, the newer ones also being smarter, stronger, and more aggressive. Setting up in Bay's Gorge, the crew is forced to shoot back now that the clones are constantly on the attack, now having NG reprogram his sentries to the destroyers that shoot anything on sight. After a while, contact is made between Spy and the engineer, with Spy bringing in vital information, but not without facing a grim end. An extra member falls, while another's fate is almost sealed when the drunk Cyclop calls out the clone medic for his true identity. His cursed eye acts as a detector to confirm his suspicions, which are responded to with a near-death experience. But for now, he lives. The trauma has Engineer slowly falling apart without the medic's help, and unsure if any of the other members could be clones themselves. Strategical attacks begin being launched on Bay's Gorge, shutting off the generator and luring the members out with a terrifying display of the newly found strength and teamwork. Winning another battle, it only stalls the war to come. Engineer reviews Spy's gathered information, which reveals the demonic blueprints given to Redmond by Satan, showcasing the new generation of mercenaries, all consisting of the perfect soldiers. On the opposite end, Blue Torch has been claiming large amounts of ground, using the new invention, the Conqueror. Finding his luck in abandoned towns, they scout Bay's Gorge filled with mercenaries, just not the ones Blue Torch expects. A distress signal is misinterpreted for a taunt, pushing Blue Torch to send a large-scale attack on Bay's Gorge. After that call is made, Team Red's medic is rescued from Dust Bowl's mineshaft. Ludwig explains the ongoing situation to Team Blue's engineer, furthering on the Devil's work being behind it all. It's all news to Team Blue's engineer, but the most concerning statement comes once the medic mentions that while Redmond has this great amount of power, he can't control it, leaving the great armada of these devils roaming the land without a purpose other than to evolve, torture, and ravage anything in their path. Look, Team Fortress 2 has been recently getting some community horror bangers such as Don't Join Team Red. It is my first time covering Team Fortress, so if my brain missed major or minor details, make sure to drive me insane in the comments by flexing your hours in TF2 terms. For any other suggestions, you can always check out my Discord server where I'm quite active. Since I'm already self-advertising, subscribe, like, share, and comment if you enjoyed the video. Anyways, to not waste any more of your time, I hope you have a great, and I mean great, rest of your day.